Hello, and welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy. First of all, my greatest apologies for not putting a lot of content up this week. It seems that Portkey, one of the, well, basically the makers of Hogwarts Mystery have just lambasted us with time-limited side quests, and as well as actually doing the main storyline as well. So basically I've been trying to catch up with that for most of this week. Also, this episode today comes with the sad news that Dame Maggie Smith, who played Professor McGonagall, died yesterday. She died at the age of 89 and she died peacefully. So this episode will be in dedication to her. So just a quick recap from the last episode. We basically defeated the troll and did some exploring. But before we're going to do that, I'd just like to raise a wand in honour of Professor McGonagall.
Lumos.
Okay, it's not quite the full minute, but I don't want to. So let's get on with this and continue the storyline.
You said you could get to the child when they came to Hogsmeade. That all you needed was a distraction. I gave you a distraction.
I just watched a student take down your distraction. Who's this child? What are you not telling me?
All you need to know is that if you cannot get to the child, then you have no value to me.
Let's go. Did they see us? I don't think so. What was that goblin doing with Victor Rookwood? Ranrock is working with Rookwood? The goblin from the Daily Prophet. I knew I'd seen him somewhere. Quickly, let's get inside the 3 broomsticks.
It's a treat to see you, Lodgok. I shall let you know if I hear anything.
Thank you, Sirona.
You be well. Now, what can I... Oh, there's a face I haven't seen before.
It's my first time here.
Welcome. Butterbeer's on me. Heard about the attack. I shall be looking in on the other shopkeepers and residents shortly. Glad to see you two escaped injury.
Thanks to this one. Single-handedly took down a troll.
Is that right? Well done.
Thanks for this.
My pleasure. I will say, trolls in Hogsmeade. That's never happened before. Something's not right. The only brutes we usually have to deal with are... How timely.
Was that Lodgok I saw leaving just now? Your clientele's not what it used to be, Sirona.
Not to worry, Victor. Once the two of you leave, the caliber of my clientele will greatly improve. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Theophilus.
Come now. No need for theatrics. I'm only here for this one anyway.
My friend is enjoying a well-earned butterbeer.
Only want a quick word.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, my friend is busy.
One would think you all had enough bloodshed for one day. Come, Theophilus. The Three Broomsticks isn't what it used to be. Let's take our galleons elsewhere. Can't drink butterbeer forever.
Seems you've made an unfortunate enemy. Watch your back. Rookwood and Hallow are worse than any troll you might encounter.
Trolls? Ranrock and Rookwood? What are you not telling me?
I promised to tell you everything, but it's perhaps best I do that later.
And on that note, I think we should head back to the castle.
So I have noticed quite a few changes in this. So some dialogue's changed, some aspects of NPCs have changed and that.
Certainly glad Sirona was there. Told you she was one of the good ones.
I can see that. She didn't seem at all intimidated by Rookwood and Hallow.
I think you'll need to tell me why Victor Rookwood has you in his sights. But we can talk later. For the moment, we should return to the castle. Professor Weasley's certain to hear about the troll attack soon if she hasn't already. Don't want to risk another detention for getting back after hours.
Yeah, so as I say, I've noticed some new things within the game. So I will try and point those out as much as I can to you. So they've added some new NPCs, interactions that are going on, things like that, as well as, you know, quite a few other things. So when I come across them, I will make sure that I definitely show you to you. So of course now we've got our owl. I need to think of a name for the owl. Alright, so I'm going to let him read that out to us.
Come and see me. I've discovered something in the locket we found at Gringotts.
I thought there was a student there for a minute. Because I could hear some footsteps. Right, so one of the things
Revelio.
I want to mention is that when you go down here, obviously this takes you to the boys' bathroom, but just through that wall there you can just see that highlighted chest. So I discovered with conversation with my sister that is purely because that chest is actually in the female Ravenclaw area, which is the reason why we can't get to it. It's nice that we get to have a portrait of the Hogwarts Express to remind us of which floor we're is our room. Right, so we're going to go talk to Professor Fig. So we will got some side quests that are available now.
Revelio.
I think that's actually that treasure that's on the map down there is, on the mini map is upstairs.
Professor, I'm glad to see you.
And I you. Thank Merlin you're in one piece. I heard about the attack. Trolls in Hogsmeade?
Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow like the dragon collar.
Goblin silver. Ranrock used it to control the dragon. But how? And why send trolls to...
They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood.
Ranrock was in Hogsmeade? With Rookwood?
The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me. And he would have, had Sirona and the patrons at the Three Broomsticks not intervened.
This is grave news indeed. If Ranrock's goblins and dark wizards are after you, they want what we found in that vault.
Speaking of the vault, do you think that Ranrock is working with any of the goblins at Gringotts?
I do not. Gringotts goblins aren't typically the friendliest of beings, but they have a great deal of integrity. No, I dare say after what happened to that poor banker, the goblins at Gringotts are no followers of Ranrock.
They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it.
Yes. I discovered an inscription. When I read it aloud, this map appeared. Clever enchantment. It's a map of Hogwarts, to be sure, but I do not know where it leads.
It leads to the library. A restricted section, to be precise, and a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map.
I suspected you would see something.
Shall we go?
I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm eager to discover what we may find there as well. But if our experience at Gringotts, let alone what happened to Miriam, taught me anything, it's that the path we're on is terribly dangerous. I'd like you to work with Professor Hecat a bit, before we continue.
But sir, how dangerous could the library be? Perhaps we're only after a book.
Perhaps we are only after a book, but we should be prepared for anything. Once you've honed your defensive magic further, come and see me. I'll let Professor Hecat know to expect you.
Right, so this obviously now is going to be part of the side quests.
Let us keep our heads about this. I'm truly sorry.
Okay. To my favourite professor.
I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor.
Good. Professor Fig indicated a certain urgency to you completing your defensive magic assignments. As such, you are to learn Incendio, the fire-making spell, handy for lighting torches, burning away spider webs, and, when necessary, defending against those who would wish to do us harm.
Sounds versatile.
Quite. But before we get started, I'd like you to complete a few tasks. You may be surprised by some of them. Astonishing how much students don't think their professors know. When you're finished, come and see me. Then we shall begin working on Incendio. You know where to find me once you've finished.
Right, okay, so
Seems crossed wands isn't as secret as it's believed to be.
we're going to do crossed wands. What I think we might do is to do the main story first, and then after that, perhaps start some side quests. Interested to know whether or not Lucan's actually a few years sort of like below us in the school, or whether or not he's meant to be a 5th year. Anyway, let's
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Accio!
Good one!
Levioso!
Nicely done!
right. So with this one, I find that the trick to this is to
Levioso!
do the basic cast slowly.
Accio!
That's it! I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Are you dueling with a partner?
I think we'll do it with Natty this time.
Yes, Natty.
Then let's get to it.
Ready to get thrashed?
Apologies in advance.
So that one there, Hector Jenkins, as I probably stated before, was meant to be the he was meant to be Weasley. Might also use a bit of the ancient magic.
I could never duel like that.
Bravo!
I gave it my all.
You did indeed. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Makes me laugh the comments they say afterwards.
Perhaps I should stick to potions.
Seems I'm out of the tournament thanks to you.
You could have gone a bit easier on me.
Oh, it's nice that you have some of these interactions. Right, so we can actually get out here. So this is the famous courtyard, of course. The Well of Four Beasts. Some students believe that that's a wish made over the Well of Four Beasts, whether near the Thestral Griffin Chimera or Hippogriff, will come true for one who has gained the trust of any of the other four. Okay. Right, as I say, we'll try and do these first. Shouldn't take long to do the this part of the storyline, so and then we'll finish off on some side quests.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was able to accommodate you and that you found success in your endeavors.
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio.
Should be, Professor.
Yes. I'm sorry to say, I visited enough careless colleagues at St. Mungo's to assure you that fire is a fickle servant. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please maintain focus. I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame. Let us begin. And remember, focus on the proper wand movement. Concentrate, and keep your wand steady.
Right, okay.
Good work. In the classroom before you go. I've set up a few targets for you.
Incendio.
Hitting it. Keep at it. And do try not to incinerate yourself. Setting things ablaze is certainly cathartic, isn't it?
Right, so I'm going to avoid that side quest for the moment. So sometimes I get the hint page on the PS5 and sometimes I don't. I've noticed that my sister gets it quite a lot more on the PS4 version.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Hecat.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig, I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your
is...
schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Right, okay. I have to say that Simon Pegg has done a great job of voicing Professor Black.
Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea.
So the other thing I've noticed as well is when you're interacting with the professors, they've changed some of the words up a little, changed some of the wordings they say up a little bit. So I'll try and point those out when they come up.
Sebastian, there you are. There you are. You promised me an explanation for what happened in the Three Broomsticks. Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
Right, so here's the dilemma that you obviously have to take. Just bear in mind that no matter what you say, eventually they're going to find out anything that you tell them in terms of what your magical abilities and things are. So if you don't want to tell them right now, you don't have to. You can certainly tell them, or they'll find, as I say, they'll find out at a later point. Now, I decided that I will tell them purely on the basis of the fact that I've discovered in the playthroughs that I've done since I did my 100% playthrough last year, when the game came out, that basically Professor Fig has literally told every other professor about what's going on, with the exception of Professor Weasley and Black, by the looks of it. So the way I see it is, I will tell those obviously that are considered to be friends straight as well.
Seems he's working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts.
Ranrock? And when were you at Gringotts?
Professor Fig and I ended up there after the dragon attack. It's quite the tale. Fig had this port key.
A port key? To Gringotts? I'm not sure I follow.
I barely follow myself, and I was there. Anyway, we ended up in an ancient vault where we found a map. That map leads to the restricted section.
You can't be serious.
Deadly serious. Professor Fig has insisted that I not tell a soul about any of this. I've probably said too much.
Understood. Your secret's safe with me. Whatever it is.
Thank you, Sebastian. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt. But a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madam Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books. So do all that you can to avoid her. She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
It's a shame that's something we never get to actually see happen, really.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try.
It's a shame that given the money that we get towards the end of this game that we can't buy an invisible cloak.
Silent as a grave.
Right. As I haven't upped the level yet, I don't need to distract them too much. And say I need to watch one of them because I know they'll move.
Librarian's still here. Quick, behind the
You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
I said usually, but it'll still be all right. Do you see her desk behind me? The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
Alohomora. That's how I always used to get in. But the librarian twigged that I knew the spell and cast an anti-Alohomora charm on the lock. So now it's just this key. But don't worry. I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
I'd love to know exactly what he did to make that loud noise.
The key.
Goodness gracious, what a mess.
That wasn't so difficult after all. How to find that book.
Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say. Ghost, don't let her see you.
Hopefully all being well, I should get past this pretty quick.
Should be in the clear. No need for us to be skulking about.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin sister, Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think we'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne?
No! We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after. Which is what, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic. Revelio.
I just heard the Grey Lady sniffling, i.e. Helena Ravenclaw. So let's just hope that she's not about and catches us before we get to our destination. Oh, that's new. Something that didn't happen before.
Revelio. Secrets of the darkest arts. I'm impressed. Leviosa.
Oh, wrong button. Put that on for now.
Who have we here? Sebastian Sallow and his new little friend. Out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty. You'll get caughty.
Peeves, don't
I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where's that damned poltergeist got to?
I know just a spell to repair this armor.
Why won't it let me? So one thing I've noticed about this recently is the instructions don't seem to go away.
Ancient magic. There must be more to this room. That's it.
I do apologise until I either fast travel or what's it, there's no way that is going. Right, okay. Stick with prefix one for now. Right, hopefully this should remove that. Okay.
Not surprising. Guards at the ready. Incendio.
Right, so this is obviously just to tell us about our ancient magic and that we can now use it.
Revelio. Levioso. Protego. Stupid. Accio. Incendio. Lumos.
So one thing I have learned is how to get these bits and pieces since the first or the 100% playthrough. So these were things that I weren't able to get before.
Revelio.
And you probably noticed just down there is a rune for you to get back to this side if you want to go back to that. Right, so the way I just jumped onto there and ran fast makes it a lot easier to get past that bit.
This must be the way forward, but to where?
Right, so over there is a room that I was never able to get to before. So if you hit the rune up there first, it will give you this pathway. And then when you get to here, stand as close as possibly can, hit the rune again, and then it'll give you another pathway to here. Once you've done that, then you don't actually need to do anything other than to do that when you get here to get this on the other side. Right, as you see, as your time will go on, you'll find my what's
after all.
I consider to be my most powerful spell set.
You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald, Professor Rackham.
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood, Professor McCaw.
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganall, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we have never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Sebastian.
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief.
Clearly, detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster. But that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
So, that's literally the only stealth mission done, more or less. I believe that there is, if I remember rightly, one other. I think that's what was good about that part of the storyline was it was showing that we should be able to trust Sebastian. But then I think at the same time it would have been nice if we had the option to admit that we were the one that coerced him. Right, now you're about to see what I mean about him telling everybody in Sundry, but then telling us to keep quiet about it.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
I have to
I was able
admit,
to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
so I have to admit, as I was about to say, before I interrupted my character, that I can understand why he was telling Professor Sharp, because obviously, as we'll find out in his class, he was a former Auror. So it makes a lot of sense that he would tell him, and also possibly he's probably asking him to kind of watch over us for what he's about to tell us.
What? That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time. I wonder why it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
They were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death?
I don't know how much I dare say. George tried to convince the ministry about Ranrock, but to no avail. My instinct is to follow the path we are on for the moment and keep the details to ourselves until we know more.
So I think this is partly why, when I've seen other people's playthroughs, why some people don't trust Professor Fig somewhat, because he tells us to do one thing and then does the opposite himself. So
I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
right, so I did say we would do some side quests now. So the one thing we did learn about that memory is that because obviously there's no backstory to our character whatsoever, so we were able to learn from that if Isadora was able to see ancient magic swirling about from a very young age, then we must have been able to have the same ability that she was in terms of seeing magic, as Professor Rackham must have done as well. So I think one of the things I will say is there is this theory, because if you take away the C and the H from the end of Isadora's surname Morganac, it actually spells out Morgana. And I think this is meant to be the developer's version of the Merlin or Morgana, because in the early tales of Merlin, he was said to have taught Morgana, her magical abilities after she discovered them, and at some point she then turned on him because she wanted to gain a throne from King Arthur. Now I can't remember now if she was meant to be his half sister or stepsister, but she seems to have managed to achieve her aim in doing so. But there's also another story where he also taught another student in magic.
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Hallow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Can we open the mail?
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
Right, so yeah, so basically they think that there was also the where he taught another female student called Nimue, and as you will have seen from in a theory that I did before this game came out, I do mention both Morgana and Nimue. And Nimue is eventually said to have got to a point where she became the Lady of the Lake. So the Lady of the Lake, for those who don't know, is the one that takes the sword Excalibur into her hands before she lowers it into the lake after Excalibur is given to her to protect it. So anyway, while I wanted to do some side quests, it seems that the storyline took a bit more longer than I thought. So this episode is now going to come to an end. As I say, this is going to be in memory of Dame Maggie Smith, who played Professor McGonagall, who sadly died yesterday, that being the 27th of September. And as such, I've decided that the owl that I've got in my room and will be known as Minerva, which is the first name of Professor McGonagall. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will be getting out the latest time-limited side quests as soon as possible about Professor Snape, and which hopefully will be tomorrow, and as well as the storyline from the previous week as well. So I can. So hopefully by that time I'll have caught up with everything. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoy what's left of your weekend. You all have a good week next week. Goodbye for now and happy gaming.